Nearing 10 years of Mustang lifestyle history, we have built cars from stock all the way to 8-second drag cars. I am so thankful for the viewers, the people I've met on the journey, building these cars and being around Mustangs every single day. But through all this success, I have not forgotten my roots.
Another one again. So, been surrounded by all these Terminators, screaming Eatons, Whipples, not so much Kenny Bells, but been really wanting a Terminator again. Facebook Marketplace, searching around, almost bought Blake's here, and I was like, I got a Terminator right here. Well, you see, the old Coyote, she had a problem on the dyno. Well, I think I lifted head.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
Here's the deal. Now that I'm a big tuner and all, well, before that, I really wanted dyno. Dyno was the only thing I wanted so badly, cost a lot of money, and I made a deal with myself that I was going to put this car together, put the Predator blower set up, and sell this car for 35 or 40 grand, pay for the dyno. Well, cars and stuff, the head stud snapped on the dyno. What ended up happening when the car was torn down, I thought to myself, well, I could put it back together, relist for sale. The Terminator market came down a little bit, and I was like, well, why am I going to do all this work to put this car back together, to sell it to someone else, have all the liability of trying to fix the car? Now, fast forward, I decided to sell the car as a roller. I sold a bunch of the Coyote swap stuff, and we're actually up pretty good on selling some of the Coyote swap stuff, the engine, the heads, built another motor with that, sold that. So right now, we're free and clear, and I was going to sell the car as a roller, but since I'm really got that Terminator bug, we're going to put a ported Eaton setup with an MS3. We got a return style fuel system, E85. I have a T56. Check this baby out. Frickin' Turdzilla got T56 in it, but it ain't in the transmission.
Drive shaft and T56 acquired for Turdzilla, but it's Turdzilla. It doesn't need.
Turdzilla's got OG's old T45. She's shifting minty. So T56, we got a built 4-valve that came with the Mach 1 that I bought that I didn't even tell you guys about. We got a built 4-valve. We got a T56. I went on Facebook. I bought an Eaton. I bought some Cook's long tubes, engine harness, trans harness, and we got a heat exchanger, intercooler pump still on this thing. We got a Volvo electric power steering. And all the body harness is still here because remember, the AC, the tach, all the factory functions of the car still worked with the Coyote. We just had to, swap it around. Now, you might be saying, Predator blower setup. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? It was. I really liked it. But I had decided to part ways with all this stuff, and I made another deal with myself. OG over here. This car is now going to get the Predator blower setup. I'm selling the Pro Charger kit, if anybody's looking. Pro Charger kit, that one is up for sale. But basically, Predator kit, ported Predator kit, 8-rib, all that stuff, it's going to go on OG. It's going to be my fast, stick shift, 900 horsepower ripper. This is getting painted. I know a lot of people ask me over and over again. This car means more to me than any of the other cars here. So that car's got to get done right. I'd rather it sit there longer than kind of get like rushed and painted. So that's kind of the dealio with that. All right, so back in the day, Red Fire Cobra, that was, you guys know, it's my car. Truly really like that car. It was awesome. Kind of wanted to move on to something a little bit different. The GT500 opened up some content. I also, as much as I have a bunch of Terminator guys who watch the channel, I also have a crap load of GT500 guys who watch the channel who feel similar way about how I abandoned the GT500. You know, I also abandoned the Cobra. Well, here we are. We're back in the Cobra. I'm now in a position where I can afford to kind of do a really fun build and do it the way I want to do. Really nice engine bay, long tubes. We're going to put an IRS back on this thing. It's got a solid axle. But Cobra stuff, I love Ambers. They're staying. I really like CCWs, but that may be down the road. But really, let's get this thing up and running, sounding sick, making some good power, 550 wheel, ported Eaton setup. It's a blast to drive. I have a lot of high horsepower cars, but there's something about that mid 500 wheel horsepower mark.
Nothing like that Terminator.
Dude, when you step on that Terminator, you blast, the tires first gear, you bank second, goes to the limiter a little bit, you bang third, steps out a little bit, and then grips up. I've posted these reels on Instagram and of Cody's car, ripping on that. It's just fun. Building this car, a convertible, street car, race car, auto, it is the worst idea ever, because what ends up happening is when you try to have AC and this power steering and a full interior and all this junk combined into stuff with an auto, you end up with a car that does everything really poorly.
Doesn't do one thing amazing.
Exactly. If you do all that stuff, this thing makes 1,000 horsepower and it runs like 9s.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So I've kind of decided, decide one. You want a street car or you want a race car? Don't make the in-between thing, because you just end up with a car with a loud rear end, some stiff suspension, and in the process of being a race car, on and off trailers, it gets beat up and all this different stuff. Build a race car, build a street car. Turdzilla is in the process. This will be 550. OG's at least original, when it finally gets painted and put together, that'll be a 650 horsepower ripper. So I will say Blake behind the camera is a big reason in part behind pulling my strings to get me into this Terminator dealio. Certified rippers, you've seen his red Terminator Vert. He made 530 wheel on the dyno, MS3, E85. It's basically exactly what we're going to be building here, is mid 500 horsepower ripper. But definitely go check out his channel. He's rebuilding and building a motor for his car, so that'll be up here. And he's going to help me with powder coating and really just dialing this thing in, because it's easy to stuff a drivetrain in a car and make it run. I can do that in my sleep, but stuffing a drivetrain in a car and making it look good and clean, and being something I'll be proud of, that takes a little bit of time.
I'm the devil's advocate for the Terminator.
Yeah, I'm a big Coyote guy, especially you want to go make a ton of horsepower within a reasonable budget and be fairly easy. The Coyote's the way. But you can't beat the sound of the Terminators. My one requirement when putting this together, I was I need long tubes. I bought some Cook's long tubes last night. Bought the Eaton swap last night. We're already $3,500 deep.
That's a modular, dude.
This is a modular, yeah. So 4.6 liter, 4-valve, Texid block, I-beam rods, Manley pistons, Aviator 9-thread heads, 96, 98 Cobra intake cams, ARP head studs. It's kind of got basically the whole ARP catalog. Solid engine to go ahead and drop in the car. I think it's a little bit higher compression. I think it was a 9.8 to 1 or 10 to 1. It don't matter. We're going to put it in there. We're going to send some boost down his throat. And like I said, goal is mid 500s. Later on, if put a bigger blower on it, maybe we'll go for 700. But honestly, I'm targeting that mid 500 level.
Mid 500 ported blower right here.
Yeah.
It's going to make all the whine noises that you'd want.
Yeah, so we got talking with Blake. We're going to do some powder coating ideas, because as you can see, no covers, no timing cover. We actually had it kind of set up with this blue stuff. I don't know if you guys can see it over there. So that's what was going to go on it. It was going to go in the Azura Blue Mach 1. Sorry, Mach 1, not getting the motor. Terminator Cobra's getting it. If you guys are interested in a super clean, freshly painted Mach 1, it's over there. But anyways, this thing, T56,
Eaton MS3 textured block, so it's going to be lighter than iron block too, which is sweet. That's 150 pounds or something off the front.
This motor probably doesn't weigh much different than you would think, like the Coyote that was in it does.
Yeah, I mean, it probably weighs right about the same.
Probably the Eaton swap lower setup probably weighs slightly less than the Predator stuff did.
Probably about the same. That Predator blower is heavy.
The Predator blower is heavy. I don't think an Eaton's is that heavy.
Yeah.
So probably a little bit weight reduction. A little weight reduction.
But the thing made a little bit more power. Made 790 on low boost.
Well, no, we're not talking about
We're not going for horse
We're not
power.
talking about power.
We're going for scream eating, tire screeching, rowing some gears, and a fun street car that also looks nice and drives nice, and yeah.
What's cool is that my car is also a convertible 03 with a ported Stegmeyer supercharger on it, 4-pound lower, 276 upper, E85, 60-pound injectors, X, Y, and Z MS3 car. It is going to be the exact same setup. So basically, what that means is when this is done and we do go to Mexico and it turns out I'm the better racer, then it'll be completely a driver's race.
Yeah, I got a fix for that though.
This guy.
Don't worry. We get some giggle juice out.
This man's like, oh, I'll just compensate. It's just air in it, dude. You gonna send air in the motor?
I'll put some.
You're already doing that. It's gonna go right here, man.
Little N2O on that.
This man's got to compensate for slow shifting with nitrous.
I don't like to lose. I put this engine together a few months ago. It's kind of just been sitting around waiting for a place to call home. Wheels, headlights, interior, maybe get a top. If anyone in the Central Florida area, does top installs, hit me up, because I want to get the top redone because it kind of has that little bubble effect. It leaks a little bit, not a lot. It's just convertible stuff. Fresh top on that thing. Be looking good.
Some CCW classics.
Hit that like button if you guys are excited for this. Comment down below what you think. You guys have been commenting, build the Terminator again. You should get another Terminator. You guys completely forgot. Even though this thing made 800 wheel horsepower, you're like, meh, it's kind of lame. It's not really
Cobra restoration.
So, giving you guys what you want. Coming right at you. Video series and more Terminator content to come. They're everywhere. They're haunting me. I had to do it. The video in the making. There's a lot of shit still in here.
There you go, partner. Killing it, dude. You still have a trans back there, don't you?